welcome to Zero Pucks Given, the ice hockey podcast for Chelmsford Chieftains fans. This is episode 10, and of course, just for you, it is jam-packed. First of all, a massive happy birthday to Sign Girl, who was out in force with her Zero Pucks Given sign on Sunday night. Her birthday, so grateful for her spreading the good word about our little podcast here, and hope she had an amazing birthday. We also have some roster news, as Harry Harcup has departed for Bracknell Bees, thinking logistical reasons behind that. All the best to Harry. And Archie Salisbury, after impressing for Chieftains on his two-way with the Phantoms, he signed a senior contract with the Peterborough side and then almost immediately was loaned to Elite League side Nottingham Panthers, where he iced this weekend just gone, having a mixed weekend after a 7-1 loss at Manchester Storm on Saturday and a 5-2 win over Cardiff Devils on Sunday. So once again, wishing Archie all the best there. And in very good news, confirmed that George Gell has been selected for the GB student squad heading out to Lake Placid in January. So congratulations as well to George. As for the Chieftains, a weekend of two halves in the NIHL 1 South as we faced Streatham RedHawks at the High Road on Saturday and hosted Raiders Junior at the Riverside on Sunday for the second Essex Derby of the season. So let's get going with the match reports, and we'll start with Streatham away. Saturday evening, Streatham High Road, always a tough place to go, but the Chieftains started the game on the front foot with the Bartletts and Reid having early efforts. Luca Tassardri between the pipes again, and the young GB hopeful was showing everyone why he is one of the top prospects in the country. Midway through the first, and Painter took 2 for interference, but the Chiefs were unable to capitalise, and shortly after the home side returned to full strength, a turnover at the point released Ingoldsby, who potted round Tassardri. Chances galore in the remainder of the period, but both netties coming out on top. Early in the second, after Chieftains had a chance to pull level, Lane found Ragas in the centre and he fired in for 2-0. Shortly after, Sasha Maltsev came close but was blocked out by Annette's pads. Moments later, Bailey from behind the net found Ragas, who squared for Painter, giving the RedHawks player coach an easy finish for 3-0. Then we had a couple of minutes of 4-on-4 as Burnett and Ingoldsby went to the box for holding and roughing respectively. Chiefs had a 5-on-4 power play shortly after, but couldn't get past the net, who was just having one of those nights. Buzzer sounded at 3-0. The start of the third saw some chances again, but no dice for the visitors. 10 minutes into the third, and Josh Ely Newman netted a rebound, making it 4-0. A minute later it was 5 as Painter got his second on the rebound. Chieftains continued to make good chances, but the puck was not falling for them. Grant Bartlett and Ben Pater had a tilt that saw both get 5, and shortly after that, Rayner took 2+10 for tripping and misconduct. 5 from the buzzer, and Cam Bartlett eventually put the Chieftains on the board, picking up a loose puck and slotting past the nets from a tight angle. The home side stretched their lead to 5 again, seconds from the buzzer, as Ingoldsby and Miles went 2-on-1, and Miles made it 6 for the league leaders. Man of the match for the home side was Annette, and rightly so as well. Sasha Maltsev took the honours for the Chieftains as they headed home to prepare for the real Essex Derby. Sunday night, and the crowd again built slowly at the Riverside, with Christmas plans I'm sure affecting the turnout, or possibly the threat of a white dusting over Essex. But those that were there were treated to an early Christmas present, as on 30 seconds, James Pentecost, fed by Ethan Reid, swooped down the Raiders' left and slotted home with aplomb. 30 seconds later, and Turner and Rayner combined to feed TJ Fillery for a finish I missed as I was tweeting goal number 1. On 2:24 it got even better as Beckett and Pentecost assisted, and Sasha Maltsev tucked in from a tight angle, who added a goal to the man of the match award he took from Saturday night. The Chiefs led 3-0, the Raiders called a timeout. Raiders settled, and on 9:55 Pentecost took 2+2 for slashing and cross-checking. Nice guy Pence? Surely not. Chieftains killed the penalty, and a couple of power plays for either side. The buzzer sounded at 3-0. 1 minute and 10 into the second, Rayner assisted the released and forgiven Pentecost, and he smashed home past Phillips. Don't worry, folks, not Sonny, not just yet. On 23:37, former chieftain Courtney Grant pulled one back for Raiders Junior. The rest of the second was littered with penalties, but neither side could stake their claim on the period, and the buzzer sounded at 4-1. The third started in exactly the same way as the first two periods, as after just 35 seconds, James Pentecost completed his hat-trick, assisted by the Bartlett Bros as a rebound popped out and Pentecost finished beautifully from just inside the circles. The crowd swung their hats to contribute to the celly as well. Shortly after that, madness ensued. On 41:32, Kazakhs pulled another back for Raiders with a deflected effort. A minute later, Bailey Chittick headed to the box, and after a very well-structured play with the man advantage, Anderson finished high from a tight angle and decided to let us know in the crowd that he was happy about it. On 44:10, another high-pressure move was finished off by Courtney Grant on the rebound, making it 5-4. As them old familiar feelings were creeping in, on 51:53, Dan Hitchens got himself a goal. Went down as unassisted, but I'm sure Ethan Reed had a pretty big part in it. On 55:34, Grant Bartlett got 2 for boarding, and on that power play, Courtney Grant completed his hat-trick to make it 6-5. On 57:15, Rayner got 2 plus 10 for the second consecutive game for holding and misconduct. Dervish also got 2 for holding, so the teams remained even. And on 58:17, James Pentecost got his 4th of the night and capped an incredible game for the second Essex Derby of the season. A 7-5 victory for the Chieftains, a man of the match for Pentecost. Grant takes the honours for Raiders Junior. Fantastic game, fantastic atmosphere with the crowd that was in there, and a really fantastic performance from the lads. Let's get Mark Saunders' thoughts on the weekend's games.
Saturday was a disappointing run all round, really. Travelled there with 12 players. We're really banged up with injuries at the moment, and obviously sometimes there's work commitments and there's a lot of illness going around. So yeah, for one thing or another, we went there to Streatham on Saturday with 12 skaters. I feel we had a good game plan. We started really well. We got to probably about 30 minutes in, and I think we were 2 down. So yeah, no one wants to chase a game, as I've said over the last few weeks, but I think we looked dangerous on the counter-attack. I think we looked at if we could get a couple breaks, as we've done in the past against Streatham and in their place a few weeks before, we'd be dangerous and we could get that back and we could get that level. Unfortunately, legs began to tire underneath us, and that one unfortunately began to run away with us. And I think we ended up, I think we were 6 down or 5 or 6 down before we got one back to break the shutout for Streatham on that night. But that was one that we spoke about after the game. I have a short memory, it's done. There's not much we can do about it. We know we need to be better. We know that guys need to, to buy in a little bit more. But like we said, that with 12 skaters, fatigue sets in pretty quick when you're playing against a team that is that good and that relentless. We had a tough time on Saturday, but moving on to Sunday, we had a few bodies back. Hopefully that's the story over the next couple of weeks, and hopefully I'll get some players back over Christmas, and Santa can bring us some guys back off the injury list, hopefully. But yeah, 2 or 3 guys back on Saturday night, which is obviously good to see. And we came racing out to a lead 3-0. Yeah, it was brilliant to get up that early and that quickly. I think it's 3 goals and 3 shifts, and they forced them to take their time out and try and evaluate where the game's at. I just said to the guys, like, look, let's make sure that we take care of this, be a bit businesslike in our manner and the way we're trying to finish this game. And I think a combination of maybe deviating away from what we wanted to do, our systems and our execution, we kind of deviated a little bit, and might have tried a bit too hard to run up a score maybe. Ended up giving them opportunities to come back into the game, and obviously at 4-1 we were up 4-1 in the third, starting the third, and I think within about 5 minutes it was 5-4 or something like that, and all of a sudden the game is way closer than it feels, to us, that game should have been dead and buried in at the end of the first, really, with the amount of kind of A grade scoring opportunities that we had. But that's not the way it works, and we've said it over recent weeks. You don't just get these things because you think you should have them. You have to earn them, and you have to score, and you have to finish teams off. And fair play to them. They kept pushing. They looked hungry for pucks all over the ice, whereas we were starting to tire. And again, it feeds in from the 60 minutes the night before. Guys were tired, and you could visibly see that, right? Like guys were a step or two back. And when you're having to use the same guys over and over again, Saturday and Sunday, because of the amount of injuries that we've got, guys do get tired, and they're human, right? We're not superhuman. We feel, we tire, we fatigue, just like anybody else, especially under the stresses of what a game can do to you. So I'm pleased that we got that one done. Obviously finished the game 7-5, and I think that's a bit of a turnaround from where we were a couple of months back when we played in their place. I think we're playing with a heart and a desire to be better, and a heart and a desire to want to win. And I think this group definitely has that. We'll see 2 games over the weekend coming up here. We travel to Slough, which, at this point, now we know that this could potentially be a semi-final matchup for us. We need to prove a point and lay a marker down here, if that's who we get in the cup semi-final. And then also the game against Milton Keynes here on Sunday at the Riverside. Obviously the charity game, full league fixture, but that's our charity night that's intertwined with this one. Obviously for the amazing charities and the things that they've done, Aching Arms and For Louis, and the charity shirts that we've got on auction and everything else. So it'd be brilliant to have a packed out arena on Sunday night as our last game for 2022, and also really load up on some collections and make some money for charity here. And I know the jerseys are getting auctioned and everything else, so if we could get everybody packed out on Sunday night for the team, be a good night, last one of 2022. And obviously hopefully a send off for the fans that have been brilliant so far. Obviously the first kind of 3 months here for me, they've stuck by us the whole way through, and we get to Christmas, get a few bodies back, and really come back after Christmas, after this weekend, and take a good hard run at the competitions that we're left in. So yeah, we'll see how we go this weekend, but let's see as many of you as we can in Slough away, and then fill the building on Sunday night for the charity game against Milton Keynes at home.
Thank you to Mark Saunders for sending us his thoughts on the weekend's games. Elsewhere in NIHL 1 South this weekend, Saturday saw Slough Jets beat MK Thunder 3-2 in overtime at the Hangar, and the Solent Devils beat Raiders Junior 4-1 at the Sapphire. Sunday saw the RedHawks beat MK Thunder 7-2 at Planet Ice Milton Keynes, 3-2 at the end of the first before 4 unanswered goals gave the RedHawks a 4-point weekend. An unfortunate weekend for the Warriors in NIHL 2 South. Saturday saw them defeated 9-4 by Invicta Mustangs at the Riverside, and a Sunday trip to the High Road ended in a 13-2 defeat to the Blackhawks. The Chelmsford Ice Hockey Academy this weekend saw the under-16s Tomahawks win 8-2 at Streatham. The under-14 Braves beat Swindon by 13-7. Lots of under-12s playing up this weekend to get exposure to the next level. Some with journey times of 6 to 8 hours as well, so well done to everybody there. And a huge congratulations to Jack and Ruben from the Chelmsford Ice Hockey Academy, selected for the England Under-13s Quest for Quebec squad. Absolutely fantastic news there from them. And the ladies this weekend in the second division on Saturday, the Pythons unfortunately went down to a 9-0 defeat at the Solent Amazons. And on Sunday, the Chelmsford Cobras took a victory in a fantastic game up in Nottingham, winning by 9-8. The scorers there for the Cobras, hat-trick apiece for Jenny Bolton and Brittany Stoneman, and then a goal each for Charmaine Easton, Kelly Jameson and Melissa Harroot. Fixtures next week for the Chelmsford Chieftains then. On December the 17th, the Chieftains will be travelling to the Hangar to face Slough Jets in the league. I'm pretty sure there will be a coach running for that, so you can email hello@chelmsfordchieftains.com to get yourself on that coach. And on Sunday is our charity game at the Riverside, December the 18th. We are playing MK Thunder and we are raising funds for Aching Arms UK charity. And what we're going to do now is we're going to have a chat with Mel, who's one of the trustees of Aching Arms UK. Mel Barkley from Aching Arms. How you doing this evening?
Hi Ben, nice to speak to you and thanks for
Thank you.
having us on.
No, you're very, very welcome. Tell us a little bit about the charity and what it is that you do.
Right, so Aching Arms was founded by Leanne, who is our CEO, after the loss of her son James. She found a gap where there was no support, and she started the charity by getting some friends together and gifting 10 teddy bears to her local hospital. And that's where the idea of the Comfort Bear came from. We now supply over 170 hospitals across the UK with our Comfort Bears. So each teddy is donated in memory of another child that has been lost. And they can be recent losses, or they can be longer ago losses. And each Comfort Bear has a little label on, and it says gifted in memory of. And then the parents, when they donate the bears, obviously ask us to write names, dates, whatever's important to them. And they are written by our volunteers, and then given to the hospitals. We also have a postal service where families can contact us directly via the website and request a bear if their hospital sadly doesn't give them and they feel it's something that they need. So we also have a volunteer postal service who will do the same as what the hospital volunteers do, but they send obviously individual bears to individual families.
Yeah, fantastic. How long has the charity been going now?
I knew you was going to ask me that question. 2009.
2000.
Yeah. That was one that I knew was going to. She had aching arms when she lost her precious James, and as a bereaved mum myself, it's 10 years just this weekend that I lost my little girl Madison, and I totally got what Leanne meant by aching arms after losing her.
Mm.
And that the teddy fills that void. Our teddy bear wasn't given to me. It was actually given to my husband by the bereavement midwife, who said, we want you to give this to Andy. And at the time it didn't make much sense, but I did what she asked me to do. And Andy actually found the little boy's family who our bear was donated in memory of, and still communicates with them now 10 years later.
Oh, wow.
So it's that one gift from one family to another. It's not going to change things, it's not going to fix things, but it's just hopefully bring some comfort when you need it the most. Most recently, the charity's branched out, and we've now got supporting dads, which my husband's also recently been part of. And we have the supporting arms service, which is a text and email service. So the charity is going from strength to strength. I remember in 2013 when I first attended an AGM, there's 27 hospitals that we had access to. And as I said at the beginning, we're now in over 170. So it's growing massively, and unfortunately, sadly for us, the need for our charity is never going to go away. So we can only grow, and with fantastic links like we've got going on with the Chieftains at the minute, where they're helping us and they're supporting us and fundraising, we can carry on offering that help and support, and hopefully improve in places that we need to improve, and strengthen those links and those ties.
Yeah, it's so vital for charities of all levels, really. I mean, everything up from the corporate giant ones down to Aching Arms and anything else in between. That the fundraising is there, the awareness is there, just to keep you guys doing what you do, because as you say, it's needed, and it's not provided anywhere else.
No, I mean there's lots of other baby loss charities out there that do different things. We have links and ties with those as well, but we are different in what we do, in terms of we hope to bring comfort first and foremost, and that's where the Comfort Bears come in.
Yeah.
And then obviously we've now seen that there's a need and a want for so our amazing team of staff, and obviously volunteers, because we've got volunteers up and down the country, that do either the hospital or the postal bears, and without them, as well as the money that we get from our supporters, we wouldn't exist.
No, and we do. I mean, the Chieftains shirts are actually emblazoned with Aching Arms UK on the back, so they're always carrying that on them to sort of spread the good word. But obviously on Sunday at the Riverside in Chelmsford is our charity game where we'll be doing raising of funds and awareness for Aching Arms UK. The players will all be wearing jerseys that were specially designed by a young fan who won a competition.
Yeah, Sophia, is that right?
I think it was Sophia. Yes.
Yeah, I've seen the shirt. It's amazing. It's really nice to see. Because we've got our charity t-shirts and things, and I've recently done a run. But to see, the dedication that someone's put into designing it's really nice to see. I had the pleasure of seeing it today. In real life. So it's really good. So well done, Sophia, and congratulations on winning the competition.
Yeah, I think the most of them will be auctioned or have been auctioned. The people that have won them will know by now, and they'll be presented with them on Sunday. And then I think there's 5 jerseys that are on raffle. But Grant's jersey is actually going to the competition winner.
Right.
And Grant Bartlett is the reason that your charity is connected with the Chieftains, because his family needed your services, didn't they, some time ago?
Yeah. I believe that. Yeah, Grant and his family are supported by the charity, and that we're sad to hear that, but I'm hoping that he's got some comfort and found a way that he wanted to give back by getting the Chieftains involved with supporting Aching Arms, and the amount that's been raised so far is absolutely phenomenal. We're a little grassroots charity, like I say, that started in 2009 with Leanne's sort of small idea, and it's just amazing the support that we get from people that have used our service and want to give back.
Yeah. So with the 170 hospitals that you're in, is that up and down the country as well?
Yes. Yeah. So we are dotted all over the country. We have little pockets where unfortunately we're not yet in that area, and that's then where we find that a lot of our postal bears then get sent to, because people do hear about us, but aren't offered the service through the bereavement teams. So then they come direct to us. You can go on our website and you can donate a bear, or you can also request a bear. So there's sort of lots of little pockets within our website where you can get different ideas, and like I say, you can donate. We've got a massive campaign at the minute about don't buy Christmas cards or donating a bear at Christmas, because obviously Christmas is a hard time for quite a few families for different reasons, but having lost a child and the memories that you're not going to have, quite often people want to reach out and support charities. So we've got the donate a bear at Christmas.
Yeah, I did share a post of yours on social media the other day that was regarding if you're sending a Christmas card or a greetings card or something to a family that have suffered the trauma of losing a child, that don't be scared to put that child's name in there.
Yeah. And that's a big thing for us. We don't send birthday we send birthday cards, but we don't send Christmas cards in our house, because it's so close to Madison's birthday and anniversary. We donate bears in her memory, but we do have sort of a handful of family members who will include her in Christmas cards. I include her in birthday cards that we send, and things like that. But yeah, it's total personal choice, and some people would prefer to see it, some people won't. That sort of discussion that you need to have with someone that is in that situation. I love seeing her name, but it's difficult for some people, so it's total personal choice. But yeah, that is a really nice idea, that don't forget about them, because they'll still be special to their family. So popping the name in if you think, and a lot of families, I would hope, would be thankful of that conversation.
Yeah, I think I've often found that so many people that have suffered trauma, especially as one like this, they are open to talking about it, because they'd rather people talk than feel sort of guarded.
Yeah, and it is hard, and it's not an easy topic to discuss, but it's an important topic to discuss, and people should feel that they are able to talk, because I think that's the big thing that we found recently as trustees of the charity. We've had so many people contact us over different campaigns that we've done recently from longer ago losses. I had a lady who we did candles a couple of years ago, and you could have your child's name, date of birth, that kind of thing put into a candle, and then obviously buy it as a Christmas gift. And there was a lady who her loss was in 1995, but she's never had her daughter's name written on anything. And she requested a candle from us, and obviously I was involved in that process, and I sorted it all out for her, and she sent us a message, and she was like, my daughter's name has never been written down. So it's that acceptance still isn't always there. But if you do know someone that's had a loss, ask them if they want to talk, and make sure that you're ready to listen.
Absolutely. I mean, that echoes around with so much with modern life at the moment, especially with, I would say actually, especially with men. I know obviously with the type of trauma that we're discussing here, it does massively affect women, possibly more so. But men have always got this machismo about not talking about anything. And I would imagine that your husband probably really did need someone to talk to.
Yeah. And one thing, I mean, Andy is an ex-trustee of the charity. He stepped down after his first term, just for personal reasons. He was changing job. But Andy, we made a promise, because a lot of people told me and Andy that we would separate when we lost Madison. She was our first child, and everyone said, like, you don't make it through the loss of a child. But we made a promise to each other that we would always talk, and be it face to face, or if we didn't feel we could do it face to face, write it down, a text message, an email. I mean, I can message him saying not having a good day, and he knows what I mean by that. And he'll be ready with a cuddle or a brew, when I come home. But yeah, it's hard. It's harder for men, and I know that. I was recently part of the Three Peaks group. That I didn't do the Three Peaks, but I supported the guys that did the Three Peaks with Amanda Holden.
Oh wow.
And the guys there from Andy's Man Club, which is obviously another massive charity that's around at the minute about men's mental health.
Yeah.
And it's just so important. The dads often get forgotten, and that's the sad thing. Obviously, the mum is the one that's given birth and lost the child, and they are completely important. But the dads, the partners, whoever else is involved in that process has also lost that child too.
Yeah.
And it's really important to remember that. And you're right, it's harder for men to talk, I think, because like you say, there's the macho bravado, isn't there? And I remember Andy saying he felt like he had to be strong for me.
Yeah.
And I get that, and I've spoke to other bereaved parents, and there's always sort of someone that feels like they have to be brave. But yeah, if you know a man that's suffered a loss, check in. Because it's really important.
Yeah, we did discuss a couple of weeks ago on the podcast. It was actually in the ice hockey family. It's not weak to speak. Was sort of put around a lot of the men in the ice hockey family, because men will always say, and I've had similar with my wife when we've suffered things in our relationship, and I want to be strong for her, but men need to realise that there needs to be someone strong for them as well.
Yeah, totally get that. And like I say, personally, I understand that. And I've also seen it with friends and family and colleagues. My husband used to be part of a football team that was made up of bereaved dads. And it was a really nice concept, but at the same time they were all grieving.
Yeah.
So it was really hard. Sometimes, because obviously no one's grief is more important than another's, but you get times that it takes over, and there's nothing else you can do. You're just stuck in that moment. And I think, people need to understand and be understanding. I mean, I've got a fantastic network around myself, both at work and at home. And like I say, it's just been our daughter's anniversary this year of 10 years. So it's been a hard one. But, like I say, friends, there was a chalky biscuit waiting for me in a brew at work one morning, when my colleague noticed that I was having a bit of a difficult time. So it's the simple things, and just, like I say, being prepared to listen. because someone might just need to blurt everything off the chest, but once it's off the chest, they'll feel so much better.
Yeah, and as you say, as long as you're there prepared to listen, you don't even have to offer advice, do you? It's just being
No.
a pair of ears.
Yeah, a pair of ears sometimes is more than anything. And I mean, I've been the ears for people, and vice versa. People have been the ears for me, and hopefully that's what now our supporting arms service will be, as well for aching arms. The comfort bears are fantastic, and they do what they do, but then there's also people that haven't received that might need help in other ways and things like that. So there's the supporting arms section that is slowly growing, and becoming more and more popular. So there's obviously the need for it.
Yeah, it was actually the post I shared with regards to writing the name of a child of a bereaved family. It was actually my wife that sort of picked up and said to me, she said, "Oh, I'd never even thought of that." And
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, we'd had issues, previously before we had our first child of early term miscarriages, never to the stage where we'd actually named
yeah,
the child. So yeah, for her to sort of say that reached out and touched her, I thought, what you're really it's really working. What you're doing is really working.
yeah. Hopefully, that's the plan. That's the hope. And as a board of trustees, we're constantly listening and looking at what people need and want. Like I say, the board have all suffered a loss as well, so we hold the charity and what it means to people very close to our hearts. In terms of making sure, and I mean, Leanne is the CEO, but she's involved in absolutely everything that goes on. And we're a family as well as a team.
Yeah.
And we work together and we support each other. So yeah, it's our little Aiken Arms family. And we love when sort of teams and businesses get on board and they become that extended family and support us like you guys are doing at the moment. With not just the money that's being raised, but like you said, the publicity with the branding on the shirt and things like that. It all gets the word out.
Absolutely, yeah, and that's fundraising is one thing. Obviously, charities can't run without funds, but the awareness needs to be there as well.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, the timing of the shirt being released at Baby Loss Awareness Week, that was really, really well timed on your part and was very well received. And hopefully we can carry on building those strong connections at peak times when people are probably needing the help and support the most.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think there's been a lot of talk about it in the build up to this weekend's game, for not only for Aching Arms, but for just trying to get as many people in the rink as we can, raising as much funds. That I did see the list of the auction shirts, and that's just terrific. The amount of money that people have been willing to part with at this time of year.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. As a charity, obviously, we're constantly worried about cost of living crisis because everyone's going through that, not just individuals that would normally fundraise for us, but businesses. Everybody is feeling the pinch, but thankfully as a charity we're still getting those people and the support, and like you say, without those funds we can't function.
No.
So it's massive, and I think two of our team are coming along to the game on Sunday, and I'm sure they'll be able to share how mega the support is. Unfortunately, I'm Manchester based, so it's a bit far for me.
You are, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it's these things they come along at the times when we need them the most, and I think that's the same. So with Grant putting us forward, there was it felt right for him at the time, and hopefully we can offer the support, and the collaboration's going to go from strength to strength.
Yeah, I think it's brilliant. I'm really looking forward to Sunday. Do you know who it is that's going to be there for you?
I think it's Karen and Roberta, but don't hold me to that. I'm just double checking my notes because I have had an email today. Because I know Karen's been speaking to Alana.
Yes.
Is it Alana? Yeah, Alana. Your club sec. I'm just looking. Yeah, Roberta and I. Yeah, so it's Karen and Roberta that are attending the match, and it's a first for both of them. So,
Is it?
yeah, it's the first ice hockey game. They've both said that they're excited, and they can't wait to see all the action. So, I mean, they're both lovely ladies, both work for our team. Karen is our community and events fundraising manager. So she's very knowledgeable. And I'm sure if anyone needs any help and support on the day, she'll be happy to put that in place.
Excellent. Have you been to ice hockey before?
I've never been to ice hockey, no. I have a little boy who plays football, so my weekends are taken up with football. And I used to play rugby myself, so I like sport, but not ice hockey. So I might have to venture down and come and have a watch one day.
Yeah, well, you're quite blessed in your area. Actually, there's quite a lot around there. I think you've got Widnes, Blackburn Hawks, Manchester Storm in the Elite League.
Yeah, Manchester Storm. I know my friend's son went and did some training down there. He's now back in America, but he did some ice hockey when he was over here. And they used to go over there. So yeah, it is something that I'll keep an eye out for.
Yeah, and ice rinks at the moment, they're the only places not worrying about putting the heating on.
Yeah, exactly. we've had a few makeshift ones set up locally for skating for Christmas. So
yeah,
I've been thinking about whether to take the boys.
Ice skating is a fantastic form of exercise. It's incredibly fun. It's not quite as hard as it looks. Obviously, the way the players do it, going so fast, and the way they stop and turn and everything requires some practice. But
yeah,
it's and we did, one of our players formerly who lives in or is from the sort of Cambridgeshire area did tell us that a farmer used to flood a field in the winter to purposely create a sheet of ice, and people would go down
wow.
there.
That's amazing. We've had football called off this weekend thanks to the ice. So unfortunately, we don't want ice when it comes to it. But no, I mean, I've seen it. I've watched on telly, but I've never been to a game. I've recently been to some of the rugby league games in the World Cup and things like that, and I've took two of my boys along. And we really enjoy sport, so it is something that I might have to have a look into. And obviously now we've got the links. We'll be following you guys and keeping up with how you get on.
Excellent stuff. Mel, thank you so much for joining me and sharing the story of Aching Arms. We look forward to meeting Karen and Roberta on Sunday.
Yep.
And hopefully getting lots of awareness and raising lots of funds for Aching Arms
yep.
UK.
And thank you everyone, all the fans and everyone that that's putting their hands in the pockets and helping to grow this collaboration. As a team for Making Arms, we're forever thankful for that. And I hope you win on Sunday. Sending winning vibes your way. And I hope the team do well.
Brilliant, lovely. Thank you very much, Mel.
All right, no worries. Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you so much to Mel for Making Arms UK for joining me on Zero Pucks Given. It's obviously a very difficult subject for a lot of people to talk about. And obviously we all know why we're going to be at the rink on Sunday night, raising money, raising awareness. Of course, the guys are all wearing the specially designed jerseys. If you did bid on one, you would know by now if you've got one, and you will be given that after the game on Sunday. And of course, there is still some jerseys to be raffled off that we could be winning on the night. And there is a skate with the players after the game as well. So plenty of chances to donate everything that you can possibly donate for those charities. And it really will mean the world to the people involved in it. So yeah, thank you once again for Mel for joining me today. Now we're going to have a chat with our number 3, TJ Fillery. TJ Fillery, how we doing, fella?
I'm all good, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, mate, I'm really, really good. Thanks for coming on, and hope that this works, doing this visually for the first time.
I'm sure you'll be fine, smashing it so far.
Thank you, mate. Good. So, a weekend of 2 halves. What's your thoughts on it?
Personally, I don't think it was too bad. Personally. I mean, going to Streatham with 2 lines is tough.
Yeah.
But they're still beatable, as we've proven before. I mean, I think yesterday was good. Got off to a good start, a blinding start. And I think you always got off to a good start when you look like that. I don't know if it was 2 minutes, 5 minutes in, they call a timeout after 2-0. You know you've got them rattled.
Yeah, it was. I think it was 3-0 at 2:27, and they called a timeout.
So, yeah, see, so and for us personally, it's quite rare to jump on someone that quick we did. You look like last week how Streatham jumped on us. We was in the same situation. Time out, refresh again, and it got better from there. So, but personally, I think it weren't a bad weekend.
Yeah, I think there was probably enough chances in the Streatham game to make it a lot closer than it looked at the end.
Yeah, no, definitely. But I think that comes down to like tactics and stuff like that, and how we wanted to play, and obviously going with two lines, you don't want to go straight into a game and just blow yourself out straight away. So
no, 60 minutes is a long time, isn't it?
Yeah, for us it was kind of sit back, absorb the pressure, keep them on the outside, and let them play in the corners, do what they want to do. And then when we get that chance, we'll pounce on it. And if nothing comes of that chance, you come back and we start again and see what happens. And I think that is what you've got to do when you're short bench like that.
Yeah. And I think, looking through the chances, their Netty got the man of the match quite rightly. I think he saved, it was 47 shots in total in the game.
Yeah. And I think, he's a good goalie. Yeah. But I think a lot of our shots we were shooting quite far out. It wasn't really sort of like looking for a tic-tac-toe and dragging left, right and centre. We was just sort of, if we got that chance to shoot, we was just trying to shoot and follow up rebounds and do what you can do to try and get something out of it.
Often the best way, as you say, when you're short bench, is to just try to get the dirty little rebounds.
Yeah, and I suppose like with Streatham as well, they've got a few young players, but I think personally, I'm not 100% sure, but I'd say the majority of the defenders are quite older compared to some of us. So you sort of, if you get that shot and you get that rebound, 9 times out of 10 really should try and beat them, and something comes of it.
A little bit quicker to the punch.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So where did it all start for you, mate? Where did you start playing, and how old were you?
I'll be honest with you, I played roller hockey from a young age. All my career as a kid was playing roller. I can remember coming out of school, and there was a set of twins in my school, and they said about going down to watch them play. So I went to watch them play, not thinking that when I get there, their coach will turn around and say, "Yeah, mate, there's some kit, go for it." And then, it literally started from roller hockey. And then I played roller for a good 10 years. And it got to a point where I kind of got fed up with hockey as a kid. Oh. And I suppose I was coming through that sort of, I want to be out with my mates, I'm not interested in playing hockey. And then I sort of set myself a target within the roller hockey world and said, I want to try and play for Great Britain, which I did. I've done the 2.5 years for Great Britain. Kept on at my mum and dad saying, can I play ice hockey, can I play? But as a kid, I don't know if many people know it, as a kid, ice hockey is so expensive. Yeah. And that is what it comes down to. You either pay £180 a month for ice hockey or £40 for roller hockey. And at that time, it was best for me to do roller hockey. And it was only till I was sort of 16, and I don't know if you know Brandon Ailiff.
Yes.
He kept saying to me, and we're good friends with his family, and I kept saying, come ice hockey. And then, I went down to Romford at the time. I started with Romford. Didn't really get a lot of ice time, and then Brandon kept saying, come over to Chelmsford. So I come over, done the Warriors, and then obviously went to the Chiefs. And I wouldn't look back from there onwards, mate.
No, absolutely. No.
Best move I've done.
And is it a different discipline between the roller and the ice? I played a little bit of inline hockey when I was younger, and I was in the same boat. I couldn't afford to do ice hockey.
Yeah.
And I ended up sticking with football. But obviously, like things like the stopping and stuff must be different.
Oh yeah, massively. Even on things like offside, there's no such thing as an offside or icing in a roller hockey rink. You go wherever you want and do whatever you want to do at any point. I think that was the biggest thing for me. Even now, some of the rules, I'm like, why is everyone shouting for? I don't really get what's happened there. But I suppose that's because I was sort of used to being able to do what you want in that sense. Being that with ice hockey, the rules are a lot more stricter and sort of hard to get your head around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you got a favourite goal in your career, be it from roller or from ice?
I have, to be honest. Yeah, it would probably. For roller, within when I was a kid, literally, I think it was an open net and someone put the ball through and I was virtually on the goal line, but I had no choice but to sort of dive and stretch for it and hit it. And I'll never forget it, and I've done it and it just went in. And there was a guy playing roller called Biscuit, and they used to call him Biscuit because he'd shoot from all angles, no matter how round the rink was, he'd shoot and he'd get the goal in. And I always got named after that fella. And yeah, that was probably my roller hockey. And ice hockey, I'd like to say probably recently this season against Invicta.
Yeah.
When I had the chance in the high slot, and I mean I didn't even know where the goal was, so it was pot luck, to be honest. And I just let that puck go, and I just heard that crossbar team, and then everything went mad. So that's probably one of the highlights for me in ice hockey, to be honest.
Yeah, you did score a cracking one up at Milton Keynes.
I was going to say Milton Keynes.
A couple weeks ago, yeah.
Yeah, but it's kind of hard. But it's same with Milton Keynes. I mean, I'm always one of them players. I don't really go down on a goalie and deep. If I get that chance to shoot, I'll just shoot. I always feel like I've got more chance of scoring if I shoot than trying to deep round a goalie. But that one there was just a rare occasion. But
yeah, that's two very different goals that we're talking about there, isn't it? The Invicta one.
Oh yeah, massively. I don't think I've ever sort of felt like I pulled a goalie's pants down, but that Milton Keynes game, I think I did.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. His arse was showing. In training, then, which one of our defencemen gives you the hardest time? So, like, who would you most hate to play against out of our team?
I'd like to say everyone, to be honest with you. I think our defence this year is so young, so sort of when you're coming down on them, they've got the same. I don't want to say that I'm too young. I'm kind of young as well, so I'd say like they've kind of got the same. All of them have got the same speed and ability as like myself or anyone else. And I think because they're so young, it's just so tough to come against anyone.
Yeah, they're all very tenacious.
I would probably say someone like Callum or Dan Hitchens.
Yeah.
Because you come down on them, they'll pin you against the balls, and I mean, maybe not the case for some people, but to me they're quite big geezers. So once I'm pinned on that ball, that's it. I'm stuck. So yeah, I'd say them two personally in training.
Have you managed to get the better of Lids in training?
I can't really say. I don't know really, to be honest with you. I don't know. I don't really take much notice on who's in front. I've always just sort of tried to just go down on anyone. Yeah,
I mean, the more I watch Lids play, he's just so well versed in the dark arts.
Oh yeah, no. You know what? I've never spoken to him before or anything like that. But I think he's a top fella, mate. When you talk to him in the change rooms and even on the ice, like a couple of times, I've scored a few good goals in training and things like that, and he'll come out and he'll be like, "Oh, TJ," and you just think like, he's a top fella.
Yeah, I think he was probably one of the most crucial signings that we made, just to have that experience in the team, because Neil's done it. He's been there. He's played here. He's played there. He's so much experience.
Definitely, mate. Definitely. I don't think I've ever seen anybody take so many shots and like block so many shots as that man does.
Oh,
and like even on the weekend just gone, someone said something in the change room about him blocking the shots and that, and he literally sat around like, "Yeah, I love it." Yeah. And I don't think I know anybody that loves to block a shot, especially from the Barclays if you're in training.
Yeah, oh God, yeah. Especially if you're not a netminder as well.
Yeah, I mean, I took one shot. Well, I took two shots. I think it was off of both of them last year. Straight away, I knew, broke my toe straight away. Yeah.
So when we skate out onto the ice for the game, you're normally the second in line behind the netminder. Is that a superstition for you?
I suppose it is now. It wasn't at that point. I mean, when I first sort of come in, it weren't. I don't really have nothing in that sense that like superstition or nothing. I just sort of lace up, kit up, and I'm ready to go. But I think it's something like if I'm not there, Cameron will start shouting out, "Where's TJ? Where's TJ?" And it's sort of one of them things that I sort of got pushed to that point to be the second one out. Yeah. So I'm always sort of the second one walking out, but one of the last ones on the ice, because then I'll stand there and sort of get everyone, when everyone goes through, I'm like, "Come on, boys, here we go, here we go."
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's nothing superstitious. It's just something that I've sort of got pushed into and I just continued it on with.
So you're probably one of Cam's superstitions now, that he wants you in a certain place.
Probably, yeah, probably. Yeah, to be fair, there is a kind of superstition. It's not really, it involves me, but it's not my superstition. Matt Turner, I don't know if you've ever noticed, when we do our warm-up, he asked me to go round in a circle a couple of times.
Oh, right.
So he'll be sitting on the halfway line, with a puck. Everyone will come into the corner to get ready to do our one-on-ones. And I'll sort of go round in a circle. And then when I get that chance, I'll go round and he'll pass the puck across. But he'll sort of sauce it across. But that's his superstition. It's not mine, but I kind of got dragged into that one as well. So.
Yeah, Jules did tell me last week, actually. He said if you ever ask Matty about superstitions, he'll have you there for hours because he's got so many.
Yeah, he always says to me as well, don't forget, Louis, don't forget. I mean, there's a couple of times I have forgot. And it's sort of last minute, think, oh, God, I've got to go.
So when we're on the ice, then after you've done your sort of your thing to come out, you tend to warm up the goalie. Is that your job?
It is now, I suppose. I don't think anyone sort of put their name forward for doing it now. But, I mean, it's been one of them things. I can't even remember who done it before. And then Sonny was starting in there and he was like, yeah, come and warm me up. And, I've never done it before. And I was kind of like, oh, God, what? I ain't got the greatest of shots compared to some of these people. Yeah, so I've sort of done that for Sonny. And then that's just rolled into whoever was backing up at that time.
Yeah.
Sort of rolled into it. But I've kind of got used to it now. I don't mind doing it. I enjoy doing it, to be honest.
Yeah, it's not just, especially just to get their arms and shoulders moving, and it so they can.
Yeah, and I think sometimes before when I didn't do it, and you go around in a circle and you're passing, sometimes it feels so long, like it's never ending. So for me, I don't take no notice. I'm just busy with Luca, Sonny, Peter, whoever it is. I'm just busy with them. So it ain't so much standing around in that sense.
Yeah. Who would you say is the best player you've ever played with?
Best player. I've got a big Grant and Cam up for that one.
Yeah, equally.
Yeah. They've always been one of them players that when you sort of play against them, they're always rough. You know they're always going to score goals. And I can remember when I first come to Chelmsford, I think it was Grant said to me, I bet you're glad to be here playing with us, playing with me and Cam rather than being against us. So I knew him at the time, but I didn't know him. And sort of being with them every week and seeing some of the goals that they score. I mean, for them, I'd say they've got to be the best ones. Yeah,
they certainly are. In Chelmsford's history, they'll probably go down as two of the best that they've ever had there.
Definitely. And I'd like to throw Turner in the mix of that as well, because I think his hands are unbelievable.
Yeah, I would agree, actually. Jules was saying last week how he found Matty as one of the most impossible players to get the puck off.
Yeah, I mean, you watch him play and he's so casual, but 9 times out of 10, if he's coming down on the one-on-one with that goalie, he's pulling their pants down, 100%.
Is there anything special to your number? You wear number 3, which has been part of the song that I made up for you.
That's a good one.
In your intro to this thing, Casey's in the Sunshine's band, Give It Up.
Yeah.
Is your number 3 special?
Honestly, not at all.
No?
I had nothing to do with that number. It was just something that I got sort of thrown with. And I just
it's quite a low number for a forward, isn't it? A forward normally have something slightly higher.
Yeah. I mean, all my hockey career, I always played, like roller hockey, I always played with 31. So I kind of guess I can cover it up and say, yeah, it's close to 31, having the number 3.
Just missing the 1.
Yeah. But yeah, there's nothing special with that whatsoever.
No.
Yeah. I mean, I'm happy with any number. Whatever number I had, I'll be happy with.
Yeah. Do you follow the NHL at all?
Not really. I mean, I do on Instagram.
Yeah.
I always, it sounds kind of bad. If I'm sitting in traffic in the morning and it's solid, I sort of have a look at the old highlights on the old phone holder in the van.
Yeah.
But not massively. But I mean, I know what's going on, so sort of up to date with it from following.
You don't have a team. You don't have a preferred team.
Yeah, I've always been Pittsburgh. I've always sort of followed Pittsburgh, if anything, out of them. But I mean, I couldn't tell you their whole team roster this year or things like that.
Honestly, I mean, there's so much of it over there. It's so hard to keep up with. Like 3 games a week and.
Oh yeah, it's massive.
The outdoor classics and then the retro season and that. It's so hard to keep up with.
Yeah, definitely.
I have heard on a few things it should be coming back to London, if not next year, the year after.
Do you know what? I'd take that because I was saying to my family, actually, my cousin's just travelled Canada, and I said to her, listen, try and get tickets for hockey. I said, if you go hockey, you'll beat me to it. I've played hockey all my life, and I've never been and watched an NHL game.
No.
And I've looked into it, but I've got to wait for the seasons to stop because I don't want to miss our games for
no, of course, yeah.
like that. So if that comes to London, mate, that'd be perfect. I'll be there.
Yeah, from what I've heard, it's going to be Leafs against Rangers, and we're probably talking minimum 300 quid a ticket.
That's fine.
So
that's fine. I'll be there.
You do love a big sporting event. You were at the Tyson Fury Derek Chisora fight recently, weren't you, at Tottenham's ground?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, that was good.
Are you a boxing fan?
I am, mate. I am big time.
Yeah.
Big
You ever had a go?
Nah. I'll be honest, I've never really been punched, so I don't think I fancy it. I always think that people could take, like, these boys, Bartlett's and Bailey and that, will take punches left, right and centre. And I always sit there and I think, like, I wonder what it feels like to actually be smacked like that.
You might have just set yourself up here. If, one of the other teams watches this, I think they might come for you.
Listen, if it creates something in the game, I'll take it. I don't care. I don't care. I'll always try and give it back. I mean, I'm not going to be one that goes out and starts it all, but if someone wants to start, I'm always there to give it back to them.
I think if you ever get the chance to have a go at boxing, I would absolutely tell you to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I've always heard from sort of other athletes and that boxing training, like the fitness side of it's unbelievable. And I mean, like, obviously, I follow boxing loads now. And, like, you see the training, what they go through. And it's like, it does look good and intense. Yeah,
it is. I've done it at quite a low level. I started off, I did charity white collar, which is just 8 weeks of training, and then you fight, and you're not fit enough after 8 weeks. It took me 2 years to be fit enough to do 3 2-minute rounds.
Yeah. See, I'd say, I don't believe in things like that. Like, I always sit there and think, during the off season, you can go gym. I could go gym and go on the pedal bikes or on a running machine, and until you sort of actually throw yourself in the deep end in that sport, you could go in that thinking you're so fit, and then at that moment in time, you're absolutely blowing.
Yeah, you can think you're as fit as you like, but you don't know how long 2 minutes is until it's in a boxing ring.
Exactly, mate. Exactly. But no, I'm a massive fan of boxing. I mean, I've been to loads of fights. I've only been to 2. But yeah, but it's unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's one of them things. It's stupidly expensive to go and watch. Even if you watch it at a low, like the small hall shows, it's really expensive to go and watch.
Yeah, see, I was lucky enough. My first fight that I went and watched, I was lucky enough to get VIP tickets for my birthday. So I was ringside for that one. So that was unbelievable.
Which one was that?
What's that?
What fight was that?
That was Craig Richards and Joshua Buatsi.
Cracking fight that was as well.
Yeah, and then obviously Tyson Fury. Again, I kind of got lucky with that, being that my cousin's a season ticket holder over Tottenham.
Yeah.
So he got an email come through to enter a draw for it, and then we got that for £100 a ticket, which I don't think is too bad for a big.
No, that's not bad at all, is it?
No, I think it's wicked, mate, for that sort of price.
Have you got any other hobbies at all?
Bit of football. Don't mind football. I've always been a big fan of snooker.
Oh yeah.
Quite a rare one, but my dad, like, as a kid, he sort of played at a high level and that, and it's something that we've always done. Not so much recently, but on a Thursday night we've always gone down the snooker hall and had a game of snooker against each other and that before training.
Yeah.
So but I mean in general, I'm up for any sport. I always feel like I'm that kind of person where if I'm half decent at any sport that I do, to be honest.
Yeah, that's quite handy, isn't it? I always had to work incredibly hard to be distinctly average.
Yeah. Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. I mean, I say I'm half decent, but when it comes to things like snooker or even a game of darts, never beating anyone. Always on the losing end of it.
Yeah, I've got a couple of questions from the listeners here, if you don't mind asking them.
Yeah, no worries.
Lucy Fay has asked, and I'm sure this is asked with all sort of sincerity, that does your stature, obviously being similar to me, quite vertically challenged, does it make you more aerodynamic on the ice? Because you are incredibly fast when you get going.
I guess so, yeah. I mean, they always say, like, the smaller people are like little whippets, aren't they?
Yeah.
And I'd say I'm definitely one of the smaller ones in there. But, yeah, I mean, yeah, it does, definitely. 100%. But I like it like that, to be honest. I think I'd rather be how I am now than be massively tall and not being able to move.
Oh yeah, I was the same until I stopped doing any sort of fitness training and got a bit overweight. And now I'm not overweight. I'm under tall.
Yeah,
If I was 6'1", I'd be perfect weight.
Yeah, I mean, being small like that is. Mark always says to us in the changing rooms, you know what you're good at.
Yeah.
And if you're a good skater or a good stick handler or a good shooter, that's what you've got to go do. And for me, I know I'm not a massive goal scorer. I don't score a lot of goals, but I know I'm quick. So in that sense, that does help me to be quick, I suppose.
Yeah, and I mean, you can break through the lines then, can't you? When you're quick, you can get through that defensive line and maybe set up your teammates.
I try to, unless I'm coming against some absolute giant who's trying to stop me from coming through.
And got a question here from Maddie that says, what's your personal ambition for the season?
Always try and be better than last season.
Yeah?
Always, yeah. I mean, I don't think I had a good season last year at all. I'd say it's one of my worst seasons that I've had.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but not a sympathy thing or nothing. But I obviously, like I said to you earlier, I've been renovating a property to flip over and sell. So last year, I was sort of every night was working, and then I was training, and I think I sort of didn't get no time to myself to sort of rest up. So I'd say it sort of had an effect on me in that sense that, I don't know, I just didn't seem like I was with it. So like for me this year is to be much better than last year. And I'd say I've got off to a good start. I mean, I feel like I'm sort of up there in the mix with not with the massive big boys like the Bartletts and that, but I'm still in the background somewhere.
But it does feel now like everyone is kind of gelling, so there's a lot that left and then a lot of new people that came in.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, these last few games have sort of proven it. Even like that game on the weekend there on Sunday. Like, when have you ever seen us get off to a game that quick as a good start and 2-3-0? So, I mean, I think that tells you something within itself.
Yeah, I mean, what you did to us in the third period with a squeaky bum time, we've seen that plenty of times.
Yeah, but yeah, that is. I think we just dropped down to their level. We sort of got to a point, I think, where we was 3-0 up and we just thought in the first period it's going to be a walkover. When obviously when you're coming against the name Romford juniors, they're not going to slow down. They're young kids. They're going to keep coming forward.
Yeah,
which they did, and I think we just got sort of caught running around. But don't worry about that. Anyway, we pulled through that.
We pulled through it. It was great. We had us in the crowd, especially down. I sort of sit down opposite the Zamboni entrance.
Yeah.
And we all had some real good fun with TJ Anderson. After he scored, he was blowing kisses and pulling his shirt and.
He's one of them players that I've always played with him as a junior. Even on the ice, he's always sort of had good fun with him. We always mouthing off, especially now he's got his visor on.
Yeah, he had a bit of a mouth off. He got a bit of stick back, but then it was all, fist pumps and smiles at the end, despite obviously the fact they lost the game. So
that's what I say. It's all for your entertainment. All that squeaky bum time, and when we start letting them come back, it's to keep all you lot on the edge of your seats.
But I think that's what's attracting a lot of people to the sport. Over the last couple of years, I think the popularity of it has grown quite quickly, and I think that's what it is, because rugby, football, with other sports, it just doesn't happen that quick. I mean, I've spoken about it a few times on the podcast. The Bristol semi-final in the playoffs.
Yeah,
and we were winning 3-0 with a minute and 57 to go.
Yeah,
and it went to overtime.
It's crazy.
What other sports
like that?
Yeah, so it's absolutely incredible. I think I did mention earlier that I don't think the crowd was particularly large last night, but I think coming up to Christmas time, I think people have things planned, and there was possibly the threat of a white dusting last night that may have put a few people off travelling.
Yeah, no, definitely. There's definitely been a lot more people though. I mean, I don't know, you probably know my mum was going around shouting out 50-50.
Oh, is that your mum, is it?
Yeah, that's my mum, yeah.
I had absolutely no idea that was your mum. Yeah, I always say hello to her when we get there. She did say to me after the first episode of the podcast I'd done that she hasn't got social media or anything, but she'd heard it was doing really well.
Oh yeah, don't worry about that. She's bigging you up, saying about how much of a lovely man you are.
Oh, no.
But she, to be fair, she always says when she comes home, obviously they're home before me, and she always saying that there's new people coming in. And she, like something last week, she said to people, have you been before? And they'll be like, no. And then she tries to sort of explain there might be a bit of fighting here and there. And people kind of seem a bit surprised by that. But I can guarantee you, once it kicks off like that, I mean, you'll probably love it yourself.
Yeah, I do. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's definitely a lot of new people, which is good though, because it keeps the ticket sales going. I suppose it's a bit of competition for the fans to try and get in to watch the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I know that probably the signing of Peter helped with that exponentially.
Yeah.
To try and get that popularity out there.
Yeah. No, definitely.
And that will continue to do that. Is it? I mean, obviously you're a football fan. Is it a bit weird being in the same team as Petr Cech?
I mean, I suppose at first it's kind of surreal. You kind of get used to it now.
Yeah.
I mean, no one at my work believed that Petr Cech was signed for us at that point, and everyone thought I was lying. And I will never forget this. And I was sitting in the cafe one day for lunch, and all the boys was with us, and my phone pinged. I thought, oh, what's that? And I looked at my phone, and it was Petr Cech requested to follow you back on Instagram. So I turned around and was like, "Yeah, boys, what do you reckon? Don't believe me, no?" And yeah, everyone was sort of surprised that he had come and played for us, as was probably all of us was. None of us knew that he was coming down the first training session and that. But
well, I was going to say, I don't want to get you in trouble if you're not allowed to say, but there was quite a weird request that went out with the Black and Gold Army that all of a sudden, this was about 4 or 5 weeks ago, that training sessions were not to be attended anymore.
Yeah.
By anybody.
Yeah.
And then 2 weeks later, this announcement comes out. Was that the reason? Was Peter training with us for a couple of weeks?
No, it's got nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with that at all. Nothing. I mean, the juniors, because some of the juniors, they're on before us when we get on.
Yeah.
And all their parents was down there, and obviously the first time he stepped on the ice, everyone's taking photos and that. But yeah, no, it's nothing to do with that whatsoever.
No.
Which I think is a shame in a way, because especially during the half term, that used to get a lot of kids come down and sort of watch the training and like being around us guys and that, which was good, I suppose. You sort of interact with them. So I mean,
yeah, I think the signing table's been a really good innovation for the club, because the young fans especially, they absolutely love that time that they get with you guys after the game. But I mean, not just the young ones, I do as well. I come and say hello and have a picture and get a signature and whatnot. So it's not just for the young ones, but it's I think it's really good.
It is good though, because like I suppose for the kids, I always look at it and think like the kids are so happy to see you. It's like as if we're all superstars to them.
Yeah.
But when we're not, we're just like yourself and anyone else. And I suppose doing the signing table, it does sort of give you that chance to speak to the parents and the kids themselves. Because sort of when you're walking out, everyone wants fist bumps, but you don't actually get the sort of chance to talk to anyone. That's why when we were all standing there getting ready to come on the ice for the first time, all the kids are there. They're always sort of there asking things out, and I always try and interact with them. Do you think like they don't get that opportunity to do anything like that? But now with that signing table, it does give them the chance to interact, and I suppose get to know you a little bit better rather than just sort of seeing you and waving at you through the plexiglass.
Yeah, which I think they all enjoy. But it's a good chance, isn't it, for you guys to, as you say, interact with the fans, and especially for the young ones to realise that yes, you might be their favourite player and a superstar to them, but you're just a normal guy and you're easy to talk to. And
100%, mate. Yeah, we are like everybody else. Go to work, play hockey. that is our life, mate. That is it.
And it's quite a life, isn't it, with all the late nights and the travelling, and that is
massively. Do you know what? To be honest, I was thinking earlier. I thought like I didn't know some of the questions would come in about the commitment for it and that, but yeah, it is the late nights and that it is tough. Especially, I mean, I heard it from Jules last week. They get home a lot later than I do. I'm only in Rockford, so I'm 20 minutes away. But
yeah,
I'll get home and go to bed. What's that?
He's in Northampton, isn't he, Jules? So that's
that's tough. I mean, not so much on a Wednesday, but a Friday morning after training Thursday night, that's my worst morning.
Yeah.
It is tough. But that's all we know now.
Yeah, I suppose when it becomes a routine, then
oh yeah, massively.
Probably a bit easier for you.
No, definitely. I mean, I was thinking earlier, like when the season's finished, you get so used to being Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. When the season's finished, it's so boring, and you kind of feel lost because you don't know what to do. But
do you go back to roller in the summer?
No, not now. I haven't played roller for the last 6-7 years now. I'll be honest with you. What we tend to do in the summertime is that the ice is quite expensive to hire out, even just for an hour. So in the summertime, we always sort of get a group chat going, and anyone that we know within the hockey world, could be anyone from Romford, Streatham, anyone that you know, just gets added into the group, and we'll try and organise like a summer training camp.
Oh, right.
So like not so much straight away, but maybe 2-3 weeks after the season's finished, we'll sort of do it. So if you want to come down, you pay £10 to cover the ice, obviously amongst everyone, and just get a game going. And that is something that I've always done from the off season, because I kind of like to keep going rather than just lounge around. And you do get that routine, because again, it's a late night as well, so you're still used to the training when it comes to the normal season time.
Yeah, oh, that's brilliant. But TJ, thank you so much for joining me tonight on the podcast. And so this first one, hopefully this all works out technologically, that I can get this on YouTube and get the audio on the podcast. Otherwise, I'm recording you on the phone and we could do this all over again.
I'm sure you'll be fine, mate. You seem like you sort of know what you're doing.
I'm gradually getting the grasp of it. I have asked Santa for some new equipment so that I can try and do it a little bit more properly. So,
well, as long as you've been a good boy, you'll be
I think I've been a good boy. I've got to keep my little recording room tidy.
I'm sure you'll do well.
That is what Santa's told me.
Yeah, you'll do well, mate.
Thank you so much for joining us, and good luck for the rest of the season.
No problem. Nice one. Keep going. Keep supporting the way you all are, and see you later.
Cheers, mate.
Nice one. Cheers, mate.
Thank you so much to TJ for joining me. We actually did that via video, so hopefully that should be up on YouTube as well, with the podcast being out. I did put a little teaser clip on Instagram earlier this week. So yeah, hopefully that all works. As I've said many times, I am just getting to grips with all the technology. So yeah, thanks to TJ. What a nice top young man. And yeah, always remember, get your 50-50 from TJ's mum whenever you come to a home game. Get your money in, get your tickets, because there's a chance of winning. Could win yourself a nice little handsome sum. So thanks to TJ, thanks to Mel for coming on. Just before we finish, we are going to have Hit of the Week. Hit of the week this week then. There was a few dotted around from the Streatham game that I saw online, and there was a couple in the Raiders game. But we're going to go with our returning captain from the weekend. Callum Burnett is back from injury and he's back amongst it. And in the first period, Harvey Briggs was coming across the neutral zone with the puck before he ran into a Burnett wall. Bang, clean hit. Callum Burnett, hit of the week. There we go. Episode 10 is in the bank. Thank you so much to all you guys for listening, liking, following, sharing. Sign girl for the sign at the rink. It's I love seeing it every time. It really does sort of give you the warm feelings inside. It's really great. So yeah, just keep doing what you're doing, guys. Keep listening, keep sharing. Get it out there as much as we can. Thank you once again to Mel for making arms. Thank you to TJ Fillery for coming on. And everybody, even if you know people that have never been to hockey before, get them down to the rink. December 18th, the last game before Christmas. Let's get a big win against MK Thunder. Let's raise loads of money and awareness for Aching Arms UK. And let's have a good time on the ice with the players after the game. And then all go and have a lovely Christmas. Next week, I will have a Christmas special leading up to the games that are coming in the new year. And I will be joined by Jaden Balker next week to talk about his hockey career and discuss his recent couple of weeks of boredom. But he will be back playing this coming weekend. So thanks for listening, guys. I'll see you next time. This podcast is hosted on Anchor by Spotify. It is available on Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcasts and other podcast outlets. Follow us on social media, 0 Pucks Given Podcast on Instagram, 0 Pucks Pod on Twitter, 0 Pucks Given Podcast @gmail.com for email. The music in this podcast is taken from Spotify. I do not own the tracks. Subscribe on Spotify to get notifications about all new episodes.